It's a tough morning for all the naysayers. EA Sports has finally broken their silence on the upcoming EA Sports college football game. Now, of course, the vice president and the CEO have briefly spoken about this if you knew where to look, but in terms of just making a public statement about the game, they've been pretty quiet for a while. And although they have confirmed multiple times through different sources that the game was indeed coming out this summer, there was still a lot of people that for some reason believed that it wasn't. Well, this morning they finally dropped a bit of a teaser on their Twitter account for all of us to see, so we're going to check that out in just a minute, and then we're going to talk about some other things you need to know about the upcoming EA Sports college football game. And if you don't want to miss out on any of this big news or official gameplay when it finally comes out pretty soon, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any important updates on this game every step of the way until it comes out. Now, I was going to let the entire trailer play from start to finish with the actual sound from the trailer really quickly, but it is kind of activating the copyright system on YouTube, unfortunately, so I can't do that. But basically in the trailer, they're just talking about wanting to give their fans a little bit of an update and that the game is actually happening, despite what some people might be saying. They're showing also some clips of the making of the game and things like that, but it's nice to just get a little bit of a teaser that further confirms that we are getting the game this summer, like they have been saying. I mean, would you look at that? A game that a company has been saying for years is coming out. A game that ESPN and IGN both said was coming out. A game that the vice president, the CEO, and others have been confirming would be out this summer is actually coming out? No way. Now, I'm sure there's still going to be a few naysayers out there even after this. They're going to say, oh, well, it'll get pushed back. Oh, well, something's going to happen. And that's okay if you want to still be ignorant to the facts. But if you know EA Sports like I know EA Sports, and I do because I've worked with them on different projects in the past, if we're at the point of a teaser trailer like this, that means the game is 100% coming out. This trailer would not exist if they thought the game would not be able to come out this summer. And we actually saw some clips in this trailer from the leaks that we got about a month ago where they were shooting a commercial at the Rose Bowl, which I thought was pretty cool. We saw this a little while ago. I made a video on it. And sure enough, about a month later, we get the official trailer where we can see some of the shots that were taking place at the Rose Bowl. So I think that's pretty cool that those leaks wound up getting out there and we're actually seeing it come full circle now. And while this commercial didn't show a whole bunch of the game itself because it is a teaser trailer, which usually those don't show much about the game, we saw a few clips that you could see are from the actual game, and you can see they're even kind of in a state where you can see that they're not finished yet. They're showing you that like it's still being worked on, which is pretty cool, where they're at Penn State, Ohio State, they're showing the Florida Gator head, they're showing kind of running out the tunnel, they're showing the game as it's being created, just to kind of throw you little bits and pieces in there because, it's still very early. We're going to probably get a full trailer in May because at the end of this video it said that the full reveal will happen in May with the game coming out this summer, which makes plenty sense. That is in line with what EA does with all of their games, and more specifically Madden. Madden comes out in August and we get the full reveal in June. We get the first official teaser, and then a few weeks later we'll get a gameplay trailer, and then a week after that they'll kind of break down franchise mode, and then a week after that they'll break down superstar mode. So I would expect them to do the exact same thing with EA Sports College Football, which we now officially know 100% is going to be called EA Sports College Football 25. Because just like the other sports games, they release in 2024, but they finish the season in 2025, so they always title it for the next year. And I also find it funny that both on their Twitter and in the video itself, they say, yeah, it's really happening, because it really has been a big thing around this game, especially lately, is that it's not happening or that it's not even real, period. I mean, I've seen so many comments on this channel of saying that I'm lying about the game and it's not even an actual thing, even though EA, ESPN, IGN, and everybody has said it's a real thing. Somehow it wasn't real. Well, yes, it's really happening, and it's coming this summer. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we can expect from the game for those that are new, but really quickly, I do want to shout out today's video sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is my favorite way to play fantasy sports, but they also have a really great pick'em game where you can select higher or lower on a wide variety of player stats, and if they hit, you can win some big money. And my favorite thing about Underdog Fantasy is at sign up, they give everybody a free play. So for example, with it being NBA season right now, almost every night of the NBA season, there's going to be a free play. So for example, tonight, they're going to give you Anthony Edwards to get a single point. All he has to do is get 1 point and that's it, you win. During the All-Star games, they're going to give you LeBron James, for example, and every night when you sign up, there will be a free play just like this for you to take advantage of to help you win some money. And if you use my code RAY at sign up, RAY, they're going to also double your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $100, you get a free $100 on top of that to play with, and you just can't beat that. Now, for those of you that have not been keeping up to date with all of my EA Sports College Football content, there are still a good bit of things we know about the game. Now, the full reveal is going to happen in May, the same way we see it with Madden in June. 2 months before the game comes out, we're going to see the cover athlete. We're going to get the official release date, which is likely going to be sometime in mid-July. It'll be the second or third week of July, just based on past history when this game used to be around. But in May, we're going to get the cover athlete, the official release date. We're going to get the first trailer, which will be a little bit more of a cinematic trailer. We're going to get kind of the major talking points about the game. They'll let us know a little bit about Dynasty Mode, Road to Glory, and things like that. And then as the month plays out in May, we're going to get a more detailed gameplay trailer. We're going to get a more detailed breakdown of Dynasty Mode, a more detailed breakdown of Road to Glory, and things like that as we lead up to the release in July. So May is going to be a very big month on this channel. You make sure that you want to be subscribed so you don't miss out on any of this important info, so you can kind of understand what the game's going to look like and play like before you buy it. Now, of the info that both EA and reliable leakers have put out, the few things that we know about this game 100% is that Dynasty Mode is the biggest focus, which if you don't know, that is like the franchise mode of NCAA. Dynasty Mode is by far their biggest focus for this game, wanting to make it as authentic as possible. And with Madden kind of still lacking in the franchise mode area, it's actually very important for them to nail this, because in the old NCAA games, the Dynasty Mode was so great. And we know it's going to feature things like the updated transfer portal that's going to kind of mimic how players move around so much in real life. It's also going to feature stuff to do with NIL, which is now a big part of college football, which it wasn't as much back in the day, of course, because there was no way for players to get paid last time the game was around, but also transferring was just not the way it is today. So all of that's going to be represented. And it's also been said that, you know, people at EA know how important it is to make this game better than NCAA 14. Like, it cannot come in any worse than NCAA 14, or people are just going to be super let down. That game is still so popular today that they know that they have to outdo that game. It's one of the best games ever, and with this long wait, there's no way they can drop a game that does not live up to that game, because it would really let the fan base down. And the difference between NCAA football fans and Madden fans is quite different, right? Both groups have hardcore football fans, but the NCAA community in terms of football gaming is so much more diehard, and it's just going to be really hard to get them excited about a game that isn't better than what they already had. Whereas Madden's a lot more mainstream. It brings in a much more casual audience because it's NFL, and truth be told, they can get away a little bit with slacking off in certain areas with Madden, which it just would not fly in NCAA because that fan base is just so much more hardcore. We know another big focus is going to be Road to Glory, the career mode, and we also know that in Madden, they're really looking to build out Superstar mode a lot going forward, and that's because with NCAA coming back, they know that Road to Glory is such a massive mode, and they're going to be putting a lot into this from everything we've heard. We also know that customization is also going to be a pretty big thing in this game, which is another area that Madden lacks. We also know that Ultimate Team is going to be incorporated in some way, which shouldn't be a shock because NCAA 14 had an Ultimate Team as well. But I don't see it being nearly as much of a focal point in NCAA as it is in Madden. It's definitely still going to be a way for them to, you know, have microtransactions and have that fantasy team aspect, but I just don't see it being as big as it is in Madden because it never kind of was as big as it was in Madden. But now with NIL, who knows, maybe it can be a little bigger than it was, but we do know the offline aspects of the game, like Dynasty and Road to Glory, are where the majority of their focus actually is. And we also know that presentation is also one of the biggest things with this game. We know that they're getting actual songs that are played at these schools, actual band songs as well, actual cheers from the crowd, the mascots, all the rivalry game details that make them feel real. We know there's going to be college game day. There's going to be some different announcers in this game. More than likely, Kirk Herbstreit will be a part of it as well because he's hinted at it. So we do know a good little bit about the game, but we're going to get a lot more info in May to really sink our teeth into. So make sure that you're around so that you don't miss out on that. Now, in terms of the upcoming Madden game, we know a good bit about that already as well through various leaks. So if you want to find out more about the upcoming Madden game, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.